All right, good afternoon. It is Friday, the 8th of December. Got out of the house and went for a bike ride. I'm down at the park. That's Bing Crosby Stadium behind me. So today's the 5th day of my solid food vacation, just doing juices. Everything's going really well with it as far as the ease and you know, just my body needing those juices and not the heavy fiber and everything else from the solid food. So this is definitely looking forward to the next, 100 days or whatever it might be, until I clear my system out. It's real windy out here today, so I'm gonna speak a little louder. So I'll say this, the first 3 days I had solid shits, and then yesterday and today I had, more liquidy, but it's like mucus, and what I think I'm gonna do is with the bowel movements, I think what I'm gonna do is just take a picture each day, and at the end, after I get all cleared out, I'll do like a slideshow video for whoever wants to see it, instead of doing, showing the pictures throughout the process. But yes, just for documentation, it's very interesting. If, you're only drinking juice, if you have solid shits, that's just a testament to me and proof of the mucoid plaque that sits inside of us. The first 3 days I was dealing with wanting to put food in my mouth, like just the solid food, the fruit, throughout the day, you just want to pick up a piece of fruit and put it in your mouth. So it took a little bit of getting used to, and again, that's testament of how quickly our bodies and our brains adapt to doing things, so we got to be real careful of, it's so easy to create a habit, and just know that once you do create that habit, you're gonna have to break it, and when you break it, it's not the easiest thing in the world to break a habit. And I guess that would be because, we like to go on autopilot. Today, I woke up early, like 6:30 in the morning, and I just felt off. I got up, I made my juices for the day, and I sat down because I was going to do, I was doing some other things, and, just staying busy getting things done, and I sat down after a couple hours to read another chapter because I was going to do another video on that book that I was reading, My Stroke of Insight, and it was like I couldn't even focus. I felt off. I felt off all day. Anxiety, different foods like coming up in my head, things from the past, whether it's people or events that transpired, anxiousness. And so right now it's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and right before I left the house, I was sitting there, and it felt like there was one of two things or both things that I wanted to do, was smoke some weed and watch a movie. Prior, when I was doing my healing from this brain injury, even up to 6 months ago, for the first year of me healing through this brain injury, I would sit down and watch 2 movies every evening, and relax and smoke weed and eat dead animals and eat processed food and everything else. And, I really haven't desired that. I mean, like today I was like wanting to eat something, and then dealing with just anxiety, just straight up anxiety. And then, you know, for the hour before I left the house, I was working a puzzle, and because I was doing other things and I couldn't get rid of this anxiety, so I figured I'd sit with it and work a puzzle. So I was working a puzzle for about an hour, and it was just driving me up a wall, man. Like, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm going, why am I having this anxiety? Why is this here? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I craving these things? Why am I wanting these things? And it's one of two things, but I possibly think it's both. So when you're healing and when you're doing any type of healing, it brings up the emotions from the past, the undealt with emotions from the past. And so you're processing it through your body physically. So like with me flushing out my system right now, it's bringing up, and that mucoid plaque breaking up, you know, it can bring back those emotions that were transpiring during the impaction of that mucoid plaque. So that's one thing. And then the other thing, of course, is, you know, the home being the kill box with those ELF and RF signals that are just never ceasing, just constantly bouncing off the walls. So, you know, I think it was a little bit of both, or a lot of both. But yeah, you know, so I could have smoked a bowl, and I thought about it, and you know, so I'm processing that while I'm sitting there working a puzzle, and I was like, okay, I can smoke some weed. And I was like, I don't even want to smoke weed. Like, I didn't have a desire. I was like, why would I smoke it if I don't want to? And then I'm going to have to deal, if I'm already anxious, I haven't smoked in so long. How do I know that's not going to make me more anxious? So, and you know, I'm like, I'm not, because when we rearranged the living room a couple months ago, and when we did, we took the TV down and all that stuff, and I was like, I'm not going down there and wasting my time hooking the TV back up and all that just to watch a movie. So yeah, I decided, oh, I'll come out and I'll go on a bike ride and see if I can work it out of my system. And you know, as soon as I got out of the house, I started to feel better. As soon as I started pedaling the bike, I started feeling better, like I was working it out of my system. So, you know, if you are dealing with those things, you know, during your healing journey, you know, the best thing you can do is move around. If you try to meditate, if you try to sit there like I tried, you know, to do my meditation, my contemplation, it was overwhelming. And I knew I had to take another action. And, you know, like I said, I mean, I could have smoked a bowl, and, you know, hopefully that would have helped. And I could have sat there and popped in a movie and relaxed. But I'm so deep in this journey now, like, you know, even when I'm with my juice, I use it as medicine. Like, I'm not even blending juices for the taste. I'm blending things for the medicinal aspects of it. You know, I have no interest in dopamine hits. I have no interest in being addicted or finding pleasure in these things that I don't see as necessary to our existence. And again, like I said, you know, they create habits. And the last thing I've broken so many fucking habits in the past year and a half, in the past 2.5 years, starting with my alcohol addiction 2.5 years ago, that I'm not looking to create any new habits other than healthy things that don't require me to spend a fake currency and have to work for that currency in order to afford those habits. So, you know, things that come free that are naturally to me. Oh, the other thing is the juicer. So I ended up buying the NAMA 2 juicer. Extremely happy with it. I did a lot of research. I mean, I spent at least a month prior to getting it, trying to figure out exactly how to work it and everything, and what the whole process was, which one to get. But I ended up going with the NAMA 2 juicer. I'm extremely happy with the purchase. I'm going to be doing a series of videos And in those videos, I'll show you guys the setup, the components. I'll show you the setup. I'll do because I do a green juice, and then I do a fruit juice. And I'll show you, you know, the whole process. So I'm going to do like 4 videos: the setup, the green juice process of me cutting up the veggies and making that juice, and then another video on the fruit juice, cutting that up and making that, and then a video of tearing the thing apart and cleaning it. So that way you guys can see what to expect and how easy it is. You know, I watched many different people on YouTube to try to figure out several different questions I had about this thing, and nobody was making videos on the questions that I had. So I just think that would help some people out to, you know, the things I'm going to be doing the videos on are the things I wanted to know that I couldn't find anywhere. So I just sort of jumped into a lot of things blindly on it, and I couldn't be happier. The ease with which to process everything, the quickness of it, even though it is a slow juicer, it's you know, it's amazingly quick. It's so much easier than cooking a meal, and the cleanup isn't near as bad, not half as bad or as long as I thought it was going to take. So yeah, I'll be doing a series of videos on that. But just wanted to document, you know, the process of what I'm going through. Today's day 5 of the juices, and again, just, I guess, processing by excreting these things out of my body, these toxins out of my body, these old toxins that have been just sitting there dormant, and then stirring them up, because that's what the juice does. The juice is negatively charged, so when it goes through your body, it pulls all those things that are stuck in your system. It pulls them out like a magnet, you know, because the juice is negatively charged, so it's pulling the positively charged mucus out of your body and breaking it up. And when it breaks it up, see, right now it's just stuck in your body, and it's covered with a layer of mucus, and what that does is so it doesn't really affect you until you start doing something to disturb it, let's say. And you just, like, let's say you have your gas tank on your vehicle, and you have old gas, you know, dirty dirt in the bottom of your gas tank. Well, it's not going to affect anything unless you stir that dirt up and get it mixed up, and then it gets up in your fuel filter, right? So it's the same thing with your system. You know, that stuff's just stuck to the inside of your thing, and, you know, you eat dead processed food, none of that's stirring any of that up. So it takes, you know, a medicinal food, an actual food, positively charged or negatively charged, to, you know, start stirring that up and pulling it out of your system. And when that happens, again, like I said, it's called you're retoxifying. So you were toxifying when you ate whatever disgusting processed dead animal flesh and everything else that you put in your cooked dead nutrition that you put in your mouth, you know, from decades ago, and got stuck in your body. And it toxified you at that time with whether you were, you know, it made you nauseous, it made you sluggish, it made you have heartburn, it made you whatever. And, you know, and then once it got stuck, it didn't affect you anymore. It just affects you over time as it builds up and causes all kinds of severe illnesses and health defects and eventually death. Yeah, so, you know, just stirring that up, and that's what, I mean, I see what I'm going to be expecting over the next, you know, probably few months. So just something to keep in mind. And also, you know, I haven't worked. I worked one day so far this week, and, you know, so being in the house is difficult too, not doing anything. I don't know. I think I might have went on a hike this week, maybe one, I think on Monday. But I haven't been too active outside the house, so I've been inside the kill box for pretty much all week. And, you know, probably just everything catching up to me, and this is what I need to get out and take a ride. So Anyways, just wanted to update that and keep everything on record, because I'm trying to keep track of this journey. You know, it's not always a bed of roses and you know, just la 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 la. You know, it's a lot of facing your shit, you know, and working through your issues. Again, you know, sitting with that anxiety and going, why am I having this anxiety? Okay, what's the source of this anxiety? Where's it coming from? And, you know, again, I couldn't really put my finger on it. I knew that there were two different things that it could have been, but when I got out of the house and started getting my head clear and, you know, moving my body around and working things out, it's pretty clear to me that it was a little bit of both those things, you know, the RF and ELF signals inside the kill box, and then the detoxification from the negatively charged fruit juices that are pulling the mucus out of me. So anyways, guys, y'all have a good day and take care of yourself, because nobody else will.